Welcome to another episode of Round the Fire with Momo. Today, I want to talk about the idea of using Bitcoin as the base unit instead of sats. And I want to explore whether this shift actually makes sense or if we're trying to fix something that isn't broken. This idea was proposed in BIP-177, which is a proposal written by John Carvalho, the CEO of Synonym, which is the company behind interesting products like BitKit. In short, it recommends using Bitcoin as the smallest unit of Bitcoin instead of Satoshis, mainly for simplification. BIP 177 has even received endorsements from notable Bitcoiners such as Jack Dorsey and Samson, so naturally it has caught a lot of attention. The core idea in this proposal is summed up in this line. One Bitcoin is defined as that indivisible base unit, eliminating the convention of synthetic decimal places. Now, here's where the problem begins. This claim is simply not true. We already have millisatoshis on the Lightning Network. Lightning uses divisions even smaller than one satoshi for routing and fee calculations. These subdivisions do not exist on layer 1, and to the best of my knowledge, adding them to the base protocol would require a hard fork. And we're nowhere near a point where the market value of Bitcoin is so high that sats are too coarse of a unit. Maybe, just maybe, in a hyper-Bitcoinized world where the purchasing power of a single sat is enormously higher, it'll be worth discussing whether layer 1 needs finer granularity or not. But we're not there yet. Right now, we already handle small units perfectly well at higher layers like Lightning, and my conjecture is that this would be enough forever, and we may never need smaller divisions on the base layer. The BIP continues, by making the base unit the standard measure, this BIP aims to simplify user comprehension, reduce confusion, and align on-chain values directly with their displayed representation. This sounds nice on paper, but in practice, it solves nothing. We can already show values in sats. Wallets already remove decimal points when doing that. Anyone who gets to the stage of researching how to buy Bitcoin learns very early on that one Bitcoin is divisible into 100 million smaller units called sats. You don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy sats. This is Bitcoin 101. The next part of the proposal states the informal term Satoshi or sat are deprecated. Is it informal? Sure. But Satoshis exist for a reason, to honor the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. It's grassroots. It came from the users. Why would we want to erase that culture or history? Then comes another suggestion. All references, interfaces, and documentation should refer to the base unit simply as Bitcoin. The currency code BTC is unaffected by these changes and continues to mean 100 million base units. I don't know about you, but to me, this introduces far more confusion than it removes. We already have a clear intuitive system. Bitcoin as the asset, sats as the smallest base unit, and BTC for the currency code. Why complicate something that already works? The BIP recommends using this symbol to represent base unit Bitcoins. This symbol is already creeping into popular apps like Cash App and, of course, Carvalho's own BitKit. Talking of confusion, it looks like the Bitcoin symbol too much, at least to me. So I still insist on using the long-standing community-grown unit Satoshis. We have sats, we have the Lightning symbol too. We have established terminology that works. Changing documentation, references, user interfaces, and mental models introduces unnecessary cognitive load. There are far more important challenges in Bitcoin education and self-custody than whether we should replace sats with Bitcoin or not. Let's zoom out. For the first time in human history, we have a finite monetary system that can act as a constant measuring stick. Our fiat units are relative. They drift. I remember Saifuddin once compared it to a rubber ruler, which changes size all the time. $1 today is $1 divided by X dollars, and tomorrow it's 1 divided by X plus N dollars, and never X minus N dollars. The supply is always inflating to encourage investment and spending, as Keynesians like to say. You can't use a shifting unit of account to measure improvements in productivity. Bitcoin fixes this. 1 Bitcoin is equal to 1 Bitcoin. We know the supply is capped, so 1 Bitcoin is one of the 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist. 1 Bitcoin is divided into 100 million sats. In a hyper-Bitcoinized world, Bitcoin will let us measure productivity growth using a stable, non-adulterated unit, and we should keep it that way. Why use sats one day and Bitcoins another day? There are plenty of hurdles on the path to Bitcoin adoption, and there are hundreds of things we can simplify. We still have a long way to go in teaching people how to self-custody their Bitcoin and encouraging them to take their coins off exchanges. But confusing sats and Bitcoin is definitely not one of them. Let's keep things simple, not make unnecessary changes, and focus on what matters. Sats are the standard. We'll keep it that way. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give the video a like. It really helps. If you're tuning in on a podcast app, I'd love it if you could leave a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. It goes a long way in helping more people find the show. You can also support me by listening on Podcasting 2.0 apps like Fountain or Breeze and streaming me some sats while you listen. Feel free to zap me and follow me on Nostr too. If you'd like to send a Lightning donation, just scan the QR code or visit my Linktree. The link is in the description. You'll find more ways to support or follow my work there.